One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago.
Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Chicago Bears.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession.
They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
First run now for Kyren Williams. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now 2nd and 9.
Stafford.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Stafford.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Williams looking to do it himself.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
First carry for DeAndre Swift.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Swift. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for Chicago. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
To the air, Williams. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Here's Williams. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
So on 4th down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal.
This from 44 yards out, left hash. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And this one complete to Smith. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. Now Stafford.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Stafford. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Stafford now to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Ethan Evans on now to punt. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 76 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point.
He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Here's Stafford.
This one swung out to Williams.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
On the jet sweep, here comes Puka.
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Bears now ready to take over again.
They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
On play action, here's Williams.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Throwing is Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I like the thinking there because right after a sack, it can be a great time to call for a screen to your running back and use the eagerness of the defense against them. Able to gain some positive yards out of this one and make things a little bit easier for them on third down.
Looking to throw is Williams.
And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Here comes the Bears punter now.
Xavier Smith deep for L.A.
This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Now it's Stafford.
Quick slant here to Smith.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's Stafford. And it's complete to Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now Stafford. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Throwing is Stafford.
Finding Williams on the check down.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Stafford. Touchdown! Davante Adams. A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Rams have cut it back within a score.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense and DJ Moore headed back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Swift going to try up the middle.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, it's Williams.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Byron Young
Just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
To throw, Williams. Throw right side, taken in by Adunze.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. To throw, it's Williams. That is caught.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Luther Burden.
64 yards.
And the Bears are able to stretch out their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Santos now to add the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Matthew Stafford and the rest of the Rams offense set to take over once more.
5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
Now a play fake it at Stafford.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
And I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Stafford.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson.
And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Williams now throwing to start the drive. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up second down.
They'll run Manungai.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
From the gun on third down, Williams. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up fourth down.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal.
From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field.
And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
It's caught. Smith. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it'll be second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it third down and 2 yards to go.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On the jet sweep, here comes Puka. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now third down and 6 to go.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. From the gun on third down, Stafford.
A throw left sideline, falls incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here's Ethan Evans now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. This is Swift on the counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
To the air, Williams. He's got the Michigan man, Colston Loveland.
Completion good for 14 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Williams going to sneak it. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Here's Williams.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Luther Burden with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are able to widen their advantage. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Now the point after try for Santos. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25. LA set to take over again on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
He'll look to Williams to begin things.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw is Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 9.
In motion, the tight end. Stafford.
That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Stafford now to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Puka Nacua
From 3 yards out.
And the Rams are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Now the try here for the extra point. He's got it, and the score's now 27-14. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing is Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Williams from the gun on third down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Second and 10. Looking to throw is Williams.
Zacchaeus here hauling it in. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
A nice little juke.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 61 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They work now on 2nd and 9. On play action, here's Williams.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7 from the 20. from the shotgun. A throw for Williams. Well, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal.
From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Back to throw, Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 1st downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Stafford looks to throw again.
Here's back-to-back catches for Devontae Adams.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18.
Stopped on the play by Kyler Gordon.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And the Rams are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Throwing is Stafford. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that will lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe buried at his feet. Make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. To throw, Williams.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. To throw, it's Williams. Pass caught by Burden.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Stafford. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's Stafford. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Now it's Stafford. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 13. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Try to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
What a game he's having. They've not been able to stop him or even slow him down. He's got 2 touchdowns already. That could have been a third. He's got the secondary coach asking people for answers. Can you help me out? Because we are not slowing him down.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
26 yards for DeAndre Swift. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2.
They'll try to run with Swift.
And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Smith, the man in motion left. The busy night continues for Williams. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Stafford going to give this one to Corum. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
To throw is Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
It's Gervon Dexter who got in to drop him.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the fourth and final quarter. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down.
A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Blake Corum.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Rams have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Now the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. That time a 6-play drive. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The home team's offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 125 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They'll run here with Manungai.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Well, this drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Running is Manungai.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 1 yard and now no yards have them looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. To the air, Williams.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal.
This a 31-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So an important one there as they widen their lead in this 4th quarter.
All right, partner, help me out with the math here. Make sure I am on point, because the way I see it, the other guys still need 2 touchdowns, but in addition, a 2-point conversion. So this is all about them playing perfect football from here on out.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Rams offense and Devontae Adams set to take over once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Stafford now to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Stafford.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat. Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8.
Now Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now Stafford. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And the Rams are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Blake Corum
with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Rams get a bit closer. So this is now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. And you've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. On the ground, it's Monangai.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. His huge night, it just continues as he's now north of 200 yards receiving. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Looking to throw is Williams.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Monangai.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Here's Williams.
Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line.
The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt, and now a chance to tie the game on this possession. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford over the middle to Smith. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. On the sneak, it's Stafford.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
Corum now on 1st and 10.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Again, it's Corum.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Not a bad game there, and it's okay to still run the football in this situation, but you got to be careful to not take too much time off the clock.
Here comes 2nd down. Up the middle, here's Corum.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches.
Now Stafford.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Stafford now to throw. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Here's 2nd down.
Stafford.
That's quickly to Atwell on a slant.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here's 1st and 10.
Now it's Stafford.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker.
Well, this game has not been short on intrigue, but that's the backbreaker right there, and it's going to put any hope of victory to bed.
Yeah, they knew they needed the touchdown, and when you have that little time remaining, they know they've got no choice except to go for broke, and that they did. But the interception, that means defeat.
The Bears offense out there set and ready to go.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.